And without Carson Wentz, too, on top of that.
Yeah.
They need to figure out this whole catch rule thing, though.
Yeah, they really do.
It's getting ridiculous.
I mean, I didn't, with Zach Ertz playing the Super Bowl, I was like, what is different to that than...
Are you talking about than Jesse James?
Did? Well...
Oh, than Dez? Yeah.
You know.
Oh, yeah, I watched that.
Jesse James play was ridiculous, too.
No, I watched that, and I was just like, and under that rule, like, he abided by it. He abided by that rule even more so. Alrighty, let's get going.
About to get the anthem going.
Mm-hmm. Fix that.
Welcome, one and all, to a very bright and sunny Highlander Stadium for a varsity gold lacrosse matchup between the Highland Park Scots and Airline High School, who is coming into town from Louisiana. Airline, a team that made the bus drive over, took on Plano East last night and was defeated 11-9, and are now here at Highlander to take on the varsity gold team for Highland Park, as they defeated Westlake 14-10 a week ago. I'm Zach Wolchuk alongside Tanner Stockton. And Tanner, I know we're both very excited for a really out-of-state matchup here this afternoon.
Oh, it's so exciting. That's one thing when I played that I loved, was playing out-of-state teams. It's something that it's different. You don't know what's going to happen. And let's see what happens today, Zach.
So Tanner Stockton, a former player of the THSLL with Plano Senior High. As we look at this Airline High School team coming in, they're a relatively young program, as you were talking to me about, Tanner. Head coach Steve Martino was named the Louisiana High School Lacrosse League Coach of the Year last year. Airline is coming off their most successful season as a program, going 10-6 a year ago, finishing 7th in the state of Louisiana.
Wow.
And where they might have an advantage today over Highland Park is inside the face-off X, as they've got All-State Fogo and U.S. Lax All-American Ryan Francis, the junior, who should be able to give this rotation that Highland Park was using last week inside the X maybe some problems today.
Yeah, when you have a caliber of a Fogo like that, it makes a huge difference. Everything starts from the X. You win the face-off, you get the ball, you take the ball down, you control the pace at that point. It's all about tempo. And that's what can kill a team like Highland Park, who's very fast-paced, strike, goal.
And now we have had a lot of rain in the area, and Highland Park plays on more of that turf field versus natural grass. What kind of elements should we watch for on a potentially soaked field, damp field here today?
Well, what you could see with a soaked field, and, thank God we've got a beautiful sunshine now, and that actually could be problematic, is that it causes a lot more humidity. Temps are a lot higher when the sun's out on an artificial turf. But then with the stick, it causes sagginess and dampness when it gets wet, and you have to adjust to that. And it can also make the head or the pocket of the stick illegal by lacrosse terms.
Well, we are underway here as the freshman Anthony Gabriel took the face-off at Fogo position for Highland Park to start out. They get a clean win outside of the X, and they are setting up here with offensive control, working it behind the net. And this is a Highland Park Scots team that was red hot to end that Westlake game, got down early, went on a run, and was really putting on an offensive clinic, as you can see the slow, methodical pace that Highland Park wants to work here.
Oh, yeah, exactly. That's what they want. They want to get the ball down there and then control it at their own pace. And right now they're running a 1-3-2, the one being the X. Oh, man, what a beautiful run to the cage by the X.
I believe that was James Durand working it from behind the net there. A good shot, but it'll go over to Airline. As you can see, Airline struggling defensively. Early playing goal for them is going to be Corbin Rich, the junior. And like we've talked about, this is the varsity goal team for Highland Park. So you're going to see a lot of younger players, freshmen to the junior level, versus an Airline school. You're seeing a lot of juniors and seniors for this squad.
Yeah, that's what you get with these younger programs. It's going to be, you know, freshmen through seniors. You're with your juniors and seniors getting the more starting playing time versus, you know, these teams like Highland Park who are established. They've got tradition. They've got, you know, the skill set to develop these younger guys, and that's why consistently Highland Park is a top 1, 2, 3 team in the state of Texas.
Durand working it again, back now over to Cameron Wilson.
Looks like they're running a wheel going into a 3-3.
Gent working it on the side back to Durand. Gent had a couple of nice long-range snipes last week for Highland Park. A little bit of movement here.
Watch out for that skip pass. Oh, what a shot.
There was
shot.
Gent. You can see right there that long wind-up, and he had a couple of bounce shots that went in right between the wickets of the netminder of Westlake a week ago. Trying to see if he can get some similar success. Trying a cross pass there. That one will go out of bounds, and the run for it. Possession staying with the Scotties. Good hustle over there. I believe that was Thomas Minicky.
Look at him. Oh. Ooh. What
Minicky, a fake. Yeah, it looked like he wanted to go low there. Working wide, goal line extended. Back up top to Wilson. Wilson, a pass that skipped back over to Gent. Gent, that grounding shot went just wide as he's trying to figure out his accuracy and range from that kind of wide top right shelf shot.
As you see, as he kind of creates that space, that's creating time right there, just like that, where you create time and space, you just kind of catch and then, you know, release it as fast as you can, but as accurately as you can.
The junior Jack Baldwin with the rip there. Baldwin, a player with a lot of speed as well, able to create separation, as you were talking about there, Tanner.
Yeah, that's what you want. You want to create separation, not necessarily from your bodies, but from your hands, so you can wind up, cock back, and unload on the goal.
Highland Park working it back around the net again. You can see passing it slowly around the perimeter. Back over to Durand. Durand, the flip back low underneath, shot and a score. Thomas Menicky, the freshman who had a sensational game against Westlake last Saturday, continuing where he left off as the first goal for the Scotties puts them ahead 1-0 at the 9-minute mark of the first quarter.
He did what he needed to do. He was looking for the skip pass. It wasn't there, and saw an opportunity where the goalie was essentially being blocked off by his own player and did just a beautiful sidearm shot.
Somewhat of a screen, if you will, there. Again, we thank you for watching Highland Park Lacrosse, presented to you by Game On Sports. The Scotties donning their white unis with the gold trim navy numbers. Airline from Louisiana wearing dark blues, white numbers, kind of similar to what the Tennessee Titans in the NFL would wear on their jerseys. A win this time going back over to Airline. You can see the Highland Park defense swarm. They have been all over the offensive end of things. The first 3 minutes, there's a flag that goes up, and I think we might get a slash. And we've got a player down there as there was a ton of contact. As there were 3 Scotties swarming around one Airline player. Couldn't quite catch the jersey number there as he's down. And we'll take a minute.
Might have been number 9, I think.
Possibly Michael Masora, the junior. But you can really just see the aggressive swarming tendency that this Highland Park defense wants to create, and that's something, you know, Kyle and I talked about it last week, this varsity gold squad, especially early on as you're kind of figuring out who you are as a team. They've got a ton of returning starters, especially from the defensive side of things. When you look at Andrew Bonnet, Spencer Borrego, Paget Deal on the attack, a couple of players that were key parts to this varsity gold squad a season ago during their run, and they've got a lot of length and a lot of size on the defensive end of things.
It looks like it was number 9. that went down, Michael Massaro. And that's what they're going to want to do, though, is, the second that ball is turned over, they swarm. And that's how it was when I played them. That's how when my brother and everyone else has played them. They're very methodical, and it works. And that's, like I said, that's why they're every year 1, 2, or 3. They're usually one of the top 3 teams in the state.
Well, Airline looks like there's a double penalty there, so they'll be 2 men up on the advantage. This is a great opportunity for Airline here on a shorthanded Highland Park squad.
Yeah, what Airline should be trying to do, you see how they got a guy coming in, and then you're going to want to have at least 5 guys on the perimeter just working that ball around, looking for that skip pass, getting the defense out of whack. But what the defense is playing it perfectly. They're staying in their zone. They're not venturing out too far. They're letting them essentially run out the clock on their own.
Only 20 seconds left to the 2-man advantage. They're trying a lofting overhand shot that goes in, and I don't even know if Major Power was able to see that one as he falls back into the net, and that's one where the sun might have been glaring straight into his helmet. I don't know if he really lost where that was, as you see John Stillman, the junior defenseman, come over.
Yeah, it looked like he might have lost that one, Zach. Regardless, that was the defense did what they're supposed to do. They locked on the guy. He just took a good shot. It happens. It just happens. The guy just gets a good shot and gets a good bounce.
Airline evening things up here at 1 with 7:55 to go in the first quarter. Off the 2-man advantage on the penalty for Highland Park, and now we're back in the X. Scots change it up. I think that's Cameron Wilson in there. Good battle inside the X. They're going wide to the wings and able to pick up the ground ball to secure it is Andrew Bonnet, the long stick midi. Back up to Wilson, working down the alley as the Scots will be able to set up this offense yet again. What did you see out of that face-off win there for Highland Park?
What I saw was it looked like the HP guy, he had control of the ball, and as you see, they kind of like circle until they get the angle that they want, and then he launched it over to his LSM. And now what you're gonna see is that they're just like he's doing right there. They're gonna kill the clock. They killed the clock until the ref says otherwise. And what you could have seen from Airlines is a double team, and you have one guy, just your adjacent. It's almost like a zone, but you have your guy on your right and your left come to help you. So it's not a true zone, but it's like a zone man kind of combo D. Oh, what a look right
Good
there.
Passing back and forth for Highland Park, trying to get it centering, feed to Jake Gent, who is crossing over the middle. Highland Park working it around, working behind now is going to be Harrison Key. Back up top. That's going to be Jack.
What a shot. What a beautiful bounce shot right on the crease, just over the goalie's right shoulder.
What a finish, as you said, from Jack Baldwin, and he proved a week ago. And in the scrimmage, the blue and gold scrimmage for Highland Park, this young man can shoot from range, and he puts another one home there for Highland Park, 2-1. It didn't take him long to regain the edge, and now we'll see that rotation continue inside the X. Anthony Gobriel going to take this face-off for Highland Park. Gobriel going up against Ryan Francis again. This time Gobriel scooping it up ahead towards Michael Marone. Marone
lost the ball there.
That's another one trying to work it towards the sideline there, a fight for it. Ooh. I think they're going to give possession back over to Airline, and they will.
Love it. I love scrappy games.
Michael Massara, who we saw leave the game earlier, good to see him back in with the throw-in. Ball is loose on the ground. Highland Park coming over, scoops it right up. That's going to be Spencer Borrego. Borrego's got some length, good speed to him. Back down low, working off the right side there. It's going to be Thomas Meneke. Already has one goal here. Good feed. And that one just unable to corral the pass. Back over to Corbin Rich, the junior, who's going to try and secure this clearance for Airline. Highland Park making it tough on him again.
Look at they just swarm, and that's just what they do, and it's beautifully done. Oh, look at that check
Big
right there.
check.
Got the ball, hold the guy where he needs to be. The beautiful defense.
Andrew Bonnet, who had a sensational game in the opener against Westlake last week. Highland Park just makes it so tough on you, especially now that you're on even strength. Airline's only goal coming just a few moments ago on the 2-man advantage. Bonnet again pressuring, and a whistle. And we've got a timeout here, 2-1 with 5:22 to go. Highland Park on the advantage. Airline with possession. So, you know, a little over halfway through here in this first quarter, and this one's been fun. Real back and forth so far here, Tanner.
It really has, especially with a young team like Airline, you know, and just a tradition team like Highland Park. It had the chance to just be a very lopsided game. It's a fun game. You're getting great face-off play. You're getting great man up, man down. Those great man down defense by the Scots, by the way, being 2-man down. That's not easy to do when you're going two-man down up against 6 guys. It's not an easy thing to do, and it was great defense. Even though the goal happened, from what I saw, they played a textbook perfect zone box defense.
And that's something this varsity gold squad is really, I think that's going to be the storyline for them all season long, is really just how aggressive and how consistent they are defensively at this level as Airline will come back out. Again, they've played a weekend trip here against a couple of Dallas schools, taking on Plano East last night. Were defeated 11-9 by the Panthers, and then they make the trip up here to Highlander this afternoon to take on Highland Park. And it seems like we've had rain for about 10 years, but here finally we've got some sunshine, some blue skies out above us. It's a perfect afternoon for some lax.
I know, it's great conditions right now for lacrosse. It might be slightly humid, but you get used to that, especially, and that could be an advantage for this Airline team because they're probably used to that kind of conditions
Absolutely.
Down in Louisiana.
It's a good point. Running save there made by Highland Park, a force out. Possession back to Airline. That was a heady play there by Thomas Roth, the freshman for Airline, to be able to bully Peter Addington out of bounds to keep possession for Airline.
Yeah, the key now is, you know, don't let them get in the center like that, because that's going to be their bread and butter.
Here's a shot that went wide, and you called it there, Tanner. Just working on that inner slot to Cole Andres.
And watch for 7 and 58 right here. See how he keeps on circling around him? That's what he's trying to do. They're trying to set up a pick for each other so you can get that center guy open for a quick shot. Great
defense there by John Stillman. Physical play, Andrew Bonnet coming back over as well. Highland Park trying to do everything they can.
What a beautiful poke check.
Ground ball loose again. I think the Scotties, this one's still loose. Who wants it more? Airline able to secure it. And Highland Park just forcing out this Airline attack as they're trying to funnel inside and create an opening. The Scott defense like a brick wall right now.
Oh, it's just unpenetrable at the moment. It's like I said, it's textbook defense. They're doing what they're supposed to do. They're staying on their man. They're staying on their hip, not letting them, you know, just beat them. They're making them beat them.
Little double team there with Stillman and Addington coming over. And there's a loose ball working down the sidelines. That one's going to go out of bounds.
Scott's ball.
Scott's got it back, and here they come. Cameron Wilson will work it from outside. Brings it in to set up the Scots attack. Major Power. Saw a couple of flurries there on the other end, but overall great defense for Highland Park, and now they're back on the offensive. Cameron Wilson over to the side, working it to Thomas Menike, who does already have the goal to his credit. Back behind the net to Harrison Key. Key a little shoulder fake.
Scots are doing the same thing, except they're looking more for that skip pass. They're looking to, you know, beat one defender and draw another one. Get that hot guy to come on them. Like right there, perfect what they did just there.
It's a good feed inside, as you saw Alex Kashada, who had a nice goal towards the end of that Westlake game a week ago. Coming inside, had a good look. Highland Park working their offensive execution right now very well. Back over to Deal. Deal will pop it back to Wilson. And you can see that rotation as you were talking about, Tanner, for Highland Park.
Yeah, don't be surprised if they do a little invertedness where they bring an attack up to the midfield and midfield down to the attack to create some misadvantage.
Good pass and a shot that just goes wide. And there was another grounder.
Scott's beating them to
Jake Gent. And the Scots will maintain possession, as you said. Harrison Key, that hustle for the loose ball. Key back over to Menike. That's a nice tandem there for Highland Park. Little rotation there. Back over to Wilson. Wilson the spin. Fake over to Gent. Now he does feed it to Gent. Gent the wide up. Back to Wilson. Wilson unable to hold on. Menike coming over in support. Highland Park resets.
Looks like they got some kind of wheel rotation going on right now. Looks now 2-2. Yeah, they're looking right there.
Menike down low to Wilson. Wilson
what a
the goal!
Shot. What a handle, what a shot by
Unbelievable.
Wilson.
A lot of traffic in there for Cameron Wilson. Had two Airline defenders draped all over him, and he's able to rotate in midair, gets off a wicked shot, goes right between the pipes, 3-1. Scotties with the advantage with 2:03 to go in this opening frame.
That's what you want right there. You want to look for that inside guy because that's going to be your best shots right in front of the goal. It's a wide open goal. Best angles, perfect. Just pass, dump, shoot.
Again, we'll have Anthony Gabriel inside the X. He's done a pretty darn good job his first two initial face-offs. He's had good support coming in from his wings. Let's see if he tries to rake this one out. Looks like initially he might have. This one will pop outside, and the Michael Marone, the junior, long stick midi with it.
Looked like the Airline player beat him out, but the long stick midi for the Scots got there first. So it ended up working out for the Scots in that scenario.
Here comes Airline trying to clear a lot of pressure from Highland Park. Looper up top. Here comes Airline. Scots do a good job getting back, not giving up any numbers here.
Wash out. They need to watch out for that cross check because those refs will eventually call that. If your hands are too far apart, they will get them for that. So they need to watch out for that.
Trying to work his way inside, a little bit of a sliver. It looked like he tried to slice through a couple of Scott defenders. We got a whistle. I think that was Nick Wilson for Airline.
A flag on the other side. Looks like
might be on Highland Park.
Looks like a slash on the freshman, Anthony Gabriel.
So the man up coming up for Airline again. Their only goal so far in this one came with a two-man advantage.
Oh no, I'm wrong. It's
John Stillman.
Yes, I was incorrect there.
Stillman over, takes the knee. So 50 seconds now remaining on the man up for Airline.
So you watch Airline, they're going to be cutting a lot of guys through that center trying to find a mismatch. You see you got number 7 coming through. They're going to look for that center guy, just constantly flooding guys through there.
Wind up, long shot, trying to get it through the trees. That one's blocked by Highland Park, and I believe Spencer Borrego might have gotten a piece of that one. Ball back over to the Scotties. So we're under a minute left. This penalty will expire before the first quarter is over. 25 seconds remaining on the man advantage, and the Scotties with possession. That one's poked right out. Good poke check there for Airline. Ground ball trying to be fielded by Highland Park. Bonnet trying to corral it. He doesn't. Airline able to get it, but again, overall, excellent job by the Scots defense to kill off this man-up penalty. 2-1. They're back to even strength now, as we'll see James Duran checking back in. 16 seconds. Long-range shot, and it goes in. Wow. Michael Masora, the junior from Airline.
Oh, Scott's got, not lucky there because they looked like they had a little miscommunication. That one guy coming onto the attack end to push another guy down the midi, but then it looked like they had two guys coming on. But like you said, they just scored. But yeah, great man-down defense there. Again, what they do best. It's textbook man-down defense.
3-2 now, Highland Park with the edge on Airline. 14 seconds to go in this first quarter. Big goal from Masora, a long-range windup. As you can see, this Airline team has quite a bit of talent to work with as well. I think Cameron Wilson's back inside the X to take this face-off for Highland Park. Pops outside, coming over to collect it will be Jack Baldwin. So Highland Park trying to get a buzzer beater here. Baldwin, the wind up, the shot goes wide. Possession will stay with the Scotties with 2.7 ticks left.
2 seconds. Oh.
And that one just lost from over to Paget. Deal unable to quite get the shot off.
Close. That's what I was just about to say. Look for that quick pass to the middle because there's going to be at least 2 Scots there ready to just pick it up and dump it in a little quick give and go.
They had the right idea, 3-2 at the end of the first quarter. Highland Park up on Airline as we are one down in this varsity gold matchup for the Highland Park Scots, looking to go to 2-0 on the season. Their second game had a couple of matchups canceled earlier this week against Prestonwood and Loyola Prep, but this matchup against Airline stayed intact, and they'll be back in action Friday night in Prosper. But we still got a lot of lax here to go this afternoon. Zach Wolchuk alongside Tanner Stockton. Thank you for watching Highland Park Lacrosse, presented to you by Game On Sports. So 1 quarter down, Highland Park up by 1. Tanner, what'd you see from both teams there?
Well, from, let's start with the young guns, the new guys, the Airlines. They're keeping up with the Scots team. This is a very good Scots team. They're good year in, year out, and they're keeping up with them. They're winning the face-off battle. They're creating offensive opportunities. As like I said, they're trying to find that middle guy. So you'll probably see them run a 1-4-1 where you got one midi up top, one attack down low, and 4 guys on goal line extended. And you'll have the 2 guys in the middle kind of just picking for each other. And they're going to, create isolation opportunities and try to find that middle guy. But on the Scots end, they're doing everything just like I remember when they played them. Swarming the guy on the fast breaks, getting down, just boom, 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 quick, fast break opportunity, setting up, controlling the pace on offense, finding the open guy, looking for that skip pass. And on defense, it's just beautiful textbook defense. Man, they're playing a lot of man D. They're not, going into the zone or, as I like to call, adjacent D, which is you got your man, but you got your 2 guys kind of playing in a zone ready to swarm the guy on a mismatch opportunity. Just great lacrosse so far, Zach. It's a well-balanced game. It's not overwhelming one side or the other. You got great defense with great offense, with not just great offense, but great offense opportunity with solid goals so far, and even goal shots that could have gone in. But, we got 2 very, these goalies are playing good too, Zach.
Absolutely. We've seen a couple of man advantages for Airline. They were able to score off the 2-man advantage to get their first goal, and their second one coming right after. It seemed like Highland Park had killed off the penalty, but Airline was able to regroup, and a nasty goal from Michael Musara from about 15 yards out. Able to get that finish to the start of the second quarter here. Highland Park up 3-2 over Airline, representing Louisiana Lacrosse. The pride of Texas and Highland Park versus the pride of Louisiana and Airline. And the Scots will win that one there as they come back the other way, as both teams now reverse fields here for the second quarter. Key working it around to Menike. Menike, who has one of the Scots' 3 goals. Cameron Wilson, a little stop, rotating back to Baldwin. Paget Deal, who was very close to a couple of goals a week ago, had some nice assists, had an excellent opportunity with that cross right before the end of the first quarter.
Yeah, that was a beautiful attempt, Zach. It was right there, right in front of the goal. Just there's 3 defenders on him.
Fight for this ground ball now. We've got several Highland Park players. They're able to pop it out. Here's Andrew Bonnet with the long stick, able to scoop it up for the Scots. Back over. There was some 3-on-1 numbers there for Highland Park, unable to execute as it bounces out to Menike, who's getting swatted. Maintains possession for Highland Park. So we got Menike and Deal now working behind the net. Flag down, so it looks like a delayed penalty, which will be against Airline. So the Scots will have the advantage, assuming they're not able to tack one in here. Coming in off the bench is Gent, along with Duran on the fly subbing for the Scotties. And there's Baldwin, just picks up that flag, takes it over, plops it at the 25-yard line. Good communication here, though, from Wilson and Baldwin. Little switching up top, downloaded Deal. Deal back over to Wilson. Wilson, little scoop pass. Down low, a shot from Harrison Key. That one just goes wide, and now we'll get the penalty called.
See, back in my day, Zach, our day, when it was rumored that it was bad luck to pick up the penalty flag. So that thing was on the ground, you just didn't touch it. If anything, it was like you picked it up with your stick and just kind of handed it to the ref after it was over.
Little taboo there. We do not touch the flag if it is in play.
Times have changed. It's different age. Different age. Rules change. Times
Jack
change.
Baldwin said, "I'm not worried about that. This flag is in my way. I'm going to pick it up and move it."
Exactly. You do what you got to do to win this game.
Man up for the Scotties starts now with 10 minutes to go. 3-2 up here on this Airline squad. Crisp passing so far for Highland Park. Working it behind the net to Key. Key faking it inside, swarming down low right between the wickets. The goal for Highland Park.
That stutter step, he'll get you every time if you're not paying attention.
Harrison Key working behind the net, goal line extended, pops in front, wastes no time going low. And it only took about 20 seconds for the man-up advantage for the Scotties, and they're able to rebuild that 2-goal lead 4-2. Highland Park leading Airline with 9:49 to play in the second quarter.
Yeah, Zach, I know you want to kind of make sure that you got all your bases covered. With the guys kind of coming up on that crease, you kind of want to keep, don't give them too much space on that crease. Otherwise, all he's got to do is tiptoe his way on the crease, and boom, 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 you got a goal there. It was a beautiful play by the Scots, though.
Boom, boom, boom. It was well executed. Tic-tac-toe there for Highland Park, and you give the Scotties up a man, especially at home. They are usually going to make the most of it as we get some whistles there. A little violation on that face-off. Possession back to Highland Park as they'll be able to retool and reset. James Duran back over to Minneke, and you can see they've moved Minneke around all over the place. Very versatile player, versatile attackman for Highland Park.
Yeah, that's deadly position, especially if you got a guy that can go up top, go in the center, go down low. It's deadly when you got a guy like that. That's versatile.
Brooks Bond entering the game now, 6 in white. See over to Key. Key will pass it back to Bond. Bond now looking at it. He's got some tools as well, trying to work it down low. Airline sticks, forcing him back out. Key, the wind-up a shot, and that one goes right into the net of Corbin Rich, the junior netminder for Airline. Highland Park, they're going to put up the pressure, not allow Airline to clear easily. Here they come up midfield. They do so.
Watch for this defender to shoot.
Nice feed.
Oh, nice save by Major Power there, Zach. He just stuffed him right in his face.
Major Power with the fan on John Mark Winooski, the junior big man inside. You called it all the way. Airline trying to utilize those numbers, but Major Power, huge stuff. And here comes Brooks Bond the other way.
Oh.
And that one will go in. What a finish for Bond.
Top right cheddar, Zach. Just slicing and dicing, making that Swiss cheese, that's for sure.
There we go. 8:21 to go in the second quarter. Brooks Bond slicing the cheese, top shelf, 5-2. Highland Park with the edge.
Just had them on their toes. You can't be on your toes. You got to set up. You got to get your box. You got to get ready for that fast break. Or, triangle D. You got to have your two guys on the bottom and you got a point ready to take whatever he needs to give or force the guy. But Highland Park, again, like I said, textbook, fast break, and they got another goal. It's 5-2 now.
And there's the advantage so far we've been able to see inside this game is Highland Park defensively done a great job getting back to avoid Airline with numbers on the counter. But there, Highland Park able to utilize that Gobriel, trying to get some make it, take it off the face-off, down low to Key. A high pass goes wide, but Key able to pick up the grounder to maintain possession. Over to Cameron Wilson.
Smart play, bounce it out, get your guys on.
Scots get some on-the-fly subs. Looks like we got Baldwin checking back in. Minneke working it down low, trying to get it behind the net now again. That's Durant. Durant over to Key, goal line extended, back up top. Wilson all alone. Wilson's got some room. Wilson trying to work off a little bit of a pick now. He'll stop. Back over to Baldwin. Baldwin, the line up and in.
Every time you're 15 yards out and those D guys give you the space. If those D guys are 5 yards away from you, you take that shot. You take a step in, cock it, unload, and boom, you got another goal. It's 6-2 now.
Jack Baldwin says thank you very much. No wasted time, no hesitation. He saw his room, the wind up and the finish, 6-2. Highland Park up with 7:42 left to play in the second quarter, and this is the firepower the Scots team possesses. A game that was tight, only separated by 1 heading into the second quarter, and just like that, in the blink of an eye, Highland Park able to put up a flurry of goals here in the second quarter.
Yeah, they're capable of doing that year in, year out. I can't tell you how many times I thought, man, we got them, and then boom, they score 6 goals in 2 minutes. They've got that firepower.
Gabriel, another win there. Zach Wilczek alongside Tanner Stockton. Tanner, a former THSLL player in his own right, playing for Plano. And he got to face off against Highland Park back in his day. He knows just how good the Scots program is. Minicky back over to Duran. Duran trying to cut the cheese there off the right side. Goal line extended.
Probably looks like he got the wind knocked out of him, Zach. That's not fun.
Yeah, we hope that's all it is Duran looks like he's in a lot of pain right now, but he tried to go up top, and you could see an Airline defender coming low, and it did definitely seem like he might have just taken one right into the midsection. So hopefully that's all that is, and he can catch his breath. Clock's up with 7:15 to go in the second quarter. Highland Park up 6-2. Didn't see any penalty flags thrown for that one, so I believe we'll still have an even advantage both sides here.
No, it was a clean hit in the Airline defender's right, but it happens.
Yeah.
You sacrifice your body, you know what you're going through. He went for the goal, almost got the goal, by the way, and you just take it. You take one for the team, essentially.
How difficult of a shot is that to make when you're working there? Tight angle there, goal line extended, trying to just pop it right over the shoulder of the netminder.
Well, look at it this way. So I'll put it in football terms. It's like Drew Brees, how he can just those tight windows. It's the same thing. I mean, you've got just a sliver of an opportunity because you not only do you have the defender pushing up against you, you're trying to push in and create more space, and then it's almost trying to like catch a fly with your bare hands.
Yeah.
It's just it's not impossible because it's done. I've seen it done. I've done it. But like I said, he almost got the goal, just bounced off the keeps shoulder.
So Airline here will take it in. That's going to be Tito Wimberly, the freshman. Tito, one of several freshmen here starting for Airline. This is an interesting pass back over to the goaltender. He hits it back up to Tito. Tito's got some speed. So we got a horn blown there.
Looks like they may not have cleared it in time. 10-second violation.
There we go. So that's exactly what the call is.
Yeah. No. I don't know what the horn was for, Zach. Because the Airline still has the ball.
Airline does still have it. Well,
because you get about 10 seconds to get over
midfield,
and then you get, I think, and if I remember correctly, the rules might have changed on me. I think you get an additional 10 seconds to get it in the box.
Okay.
Oh, what a hit. Oh,
wow.
what a
that
hit.
Was going to be Peter Addington, the junior defenseman. He's going to get called there for what looks like a cross check. That looked like a beautiful check from our angle. But here comes the Airline. They're going to have a man up here with 6:36 to go in the second quarter. Down 4, Highland Park up 6-2. But we've seen Airline, both of their goals. The first one coming with a 2-man advantage. The second one coming right off. Highland Park seemed to have cleared off the advantage, but Airline still was able to maintain offensive possession and was able to strike quickly.
All right, so this is what I'm more used to. You got the boxing one where the midfielder is going to be your one, and because what you want is you want your long poles because they got these 6-foot poles, and they can keep the guys in check. So let's see how the Scots man down D does this time.
Here comes Airline working goal line extended, trying to cut in front. Good job coming back over in support. That was Gus Vidal.
That's exactly what he needs to be doing. He needs to be keeping his head on a swivel, rotating circular motions in that box, following the ball wherever it goes. And great save by Major Power.
Yeah,
there.
Long shot. Major Power says not today as Highland Park able to keep it back up.
Now Scott's just... Oh, looks like the penalty is killed.
Bonnet able to swarm his way inside, and a shot there just goes wide. Nice little stick fake move inside there for Bonnet. Minicky working it behind the net. Scott's having some subs coming in. Harrison Key will switch in there. Underhanded shot. That one goes high. Back there is Minnike's the closest one to it. Scots will keep it. Minneke lofting. Back over to Wilson. Wilson.
Oh, he just powered
a little bit
through
of
that.
a hook there. Excuse me, that's Baldwin. So that one just goes up high again. Minike's been very active from behind the net.
As he should be. That back guy is kind of like the quarterback of the lacrosse field. He has a better angle, better advantage, you know, guiding the team. Where is this horn? And a goal.
And that does go in a little bit of a delay there, but Jack Baldwin, another long range shot. Top shelf, and interesting, took a weird angle. It looked like it went high and then fluttered low. Tough adjustment for the goaltender Corbin Rich to make, but Jack Baldwin showcasing his skill from range, 7-2. Highland Park up. That one happened in the blink of an eye, Tanner.
Yeah, it'll sneak up on you. You sit there, you're watching the beautiful rotation, and then boom. Sometimes, you know, hidden ball trick is what they like to call it. You see that a lot now at the collegiate level. You get a bunch of guys swarm around the ball. One guy has the ball, and then the goalie loses it. It's effective. I mean, if you want to call it a cheap tactic, it is. That may not have been what happened here, but it definitely was hidden for sure from the goalie. That's for sure.
No, well, hey, you don't want him to see it, and then well executed there for Highland Park. 4:57 to go in the second quarter, 7-2. Highland Park with the lead now after that goal from Jack Baldwin.
Yeah, and that's another thing as a shooter. What you want to do is you want the goalie to lose the ball, so you kind of bring it back behind you because it makes it harder for the goalie to catch onto the ball. Great face-off there for Airline, though.
Francis able to win it to secure possession for Airline. As you said, probably the first clean one he's really had today. Trying to work their way inside as Airline. Good defense there, popped up. Shot just going up and wide. That's John Mark Winooski, the junior for Airline.
He got in there, but they swarmed on him like they should.
Highland Park defense makes it very difficult. Loose ball, grounder picked up by Highland Park, still loose. Now the Scotties do have it. That'll be Peter Addington working to clear up the alley. Back over to Gobriel.
Shoulder pass.
Highland Park trying to get down there quickly. A little jump shot pass down low. The wind up from Gent, and he's a little upset with himself there. That one goes wide.
Yeah, that was a hard shot. You got spinning, you had to control, then it's hard when you got spinning around and shooting all at once.
Gentho does like that jump shot. That's something we've noticed from him from the scrimmage and his game last week. He likes to get airborne and you get that little rotating torque down low, that jump skip shot, if you will, from Gent. Cameron Wilson will take it in. Back over to Minneke. Now they've got Key working behind the net, and Minneke will come up working goal line extended. Deal out there as well, and Bond, 6 and white. Back over to Deal. Deal pop it back over to Key. Key, a good feed to Deal, and Deal the shot. Save made. No, they're going to call it a goal.
It bounced out.
What a beautiful rotation from Paget. Deal working in ISO. Mono a mono with the netminder, and he puts it home. And that one did pop out, looked for a minute, maybe even hit post, but a good eye from the referee. They give it to Deal, and he was due for that one as Highland Park up 8-2 with 3:36 left to play in the first half.
He caught what we like to call the defender sleeping. They stood there, they watched him. It's called ball watching. Teams are guilty of it, but not this Highland Park team. They're very disciplined, and you'll get that with the younger team. They're, 3 years old, right, Zach? They're not fairly new.
Yes, this is a relatively young Louisiana team, but they're quickly becoming one of the better teams from Louisiana. Finished 7th in the state a year ago, but they're coming off their most successful season. But like you said, they are littered with a ton of juniors all the way to freshmen. Lots of freshmen starting on this team as well for Airline. Possession win there for Highland Park outside of the X. Deal, who just scored the goal there, will take it over to Key. Key back to Baldwin. Some coaching coming in from the side, on the fly subbing for the Scotties. Gent.
Getting set up. They're in looks like a 2-2. That's one of the Scots' bread and butters right there. Kind of gives them a wheel. You see all these rotations. Boom.
They're able to get a lot of shots off too, off of those wheels. up top, especially with Gent and Baldwin.
It also gives them a lot of isolation opportunities, which the Scots love those isolation opportunities.
See right there with Gent working mano-a-mano against one of those other freshmen, Tito Wimberly. Just goes a little wide. But it seems like whenever the Scots have been able to maintain offensive control, they do what they want. Minicky working it around.
Oh, good shot, good
whip
save.
Around shot. Yeah, nice save there for Airline. Back over to Key. Key working to Baldwin. The little stutter step down low, and he finishes. Jack Baldwin might be his third of the afternoon, definitely his second, but that could be 3 already for the Hattie for Jack Baldwin with 2:39 to play, 9-2. Highland Park starting to put their foot on the gas and run away with this one.
Yeah, Minicky saw the opportunity, skipped past across. Baldwin made a great fake shot to beat the defender and just got around the goalie and dumped it over his shoulder.
What a finish by Jack Baldwin, who's proving to be one of the more lethal attackers on this Highland Park varsity gold squad. Gabriel inside the X now to take this face off. We've seen it's either been him or Wilson, but Gabriel starting to find a home in there. That one's loose. Great job by the wings, unable to quite corral it. Wilson now trying to come in and support, but it is going to be Masura for Airline.
Little difference there from the Airline Fogo guy. I've never seen something like that, just kind of staring down the other Fogo guy. I mean, it was effective. He kept him out of the play, but Scott's got the ball now.
What a job by Cameron Wilson to come and poke check that one away defensively after losing the initial ground ball, coming in support for a wing, and now Gabriel will take it back, and they'll set up their offensive attack with just over 2 minutes to play now. 9-2, Highland Park with the lead in this first half. Bond, as we see Kashada, 24, checking in. Baldwin, I believe, is checking back in as well. 11 in white. What a first half it's been for Jack Baldwin. Rotating in there for Kashada. Kashada back over to the side. That's going to be Durant. That one's wide. Baldwin picking up the ground ball. 1:30 to play here in the first half. Scots can pretty much do what they want working behind the net. Minicky working ISO. He's able to shoot really at any range in the field. Going to slow it up. Back over to Kashada. Kashada behind the net, working it to Deal. Deal back to Durant. Kashada will scoop it up again right around that 32-yard line. Working around a Baldwin screen. Now Baldwin's got it. He's got a lot of room if he wants to try and make a move and take that one off that right side, but he's going to slow it down. Now it goes behind the net to Menicky. And that one's poked away. Menicky now up in the air again. That'll should stay with Highland Park. No, it's going to go back over to Airline now.
No, it's going to be Airline because loose ball. It wasn't a shot.
That's right.
That at that point is considered more of an out of bounds. It's not anyone's ball at that point.
So Peyton Stafford will take this one for Airline with 44 seconds and counting. Clock running now. Loose ball picked up by Airline. Look at these long sticks from Highland Park, making it very difficult. 30 seconds to play.
What an ice check.
Checked away.
You don't see. That's a very risky check there, but very effective if done correctly.
Scots have a chance now to hold for the final shot. Now Airline was able to steal it back. A little bit of sloppiness here in the final minute of this one. 15 seconds now. It's going out of bounds with 14.4 ticks left. Here come the Scotties. They're able to get a buzzer beater a week ago. Here comes Baldwin.
Look for them to do it again.
Kashada. Over to Minicky. We're going extended a shot inside and in. Thomas Minicky.
With exactly 2 seconds left in the half, Zach.
10-2 with 2 seconds left. Thomas Minicky putting the Scotties up 8 in what has been an absolutely dominant quarter of lacrosse for the Scotties, much like they turned it on a week ago against Westlake. Airline had some success with the man up. Ever since then, the Scots have shut the door and left this Airline school waiting in the dust. What an unbelievable performance so far by this Highland Park Varsity Gold squad, and there's still a whole other half of lags to go. 2 seconds left before this first half is in the books. Trying to just scoop it backwards, and that'll be it. 10-2 at the end of one. Highland Park with the advantage. And if you are Coach Steve Martino and Airline, Tanner, what are you telling to your club to try and get back into this thing?
Calm down. Play your game. That's what it comes down to. They're rushing it. They're not looking for guys. That's just what it comes down to. You calm the nerves. You slow it down. You have the chance. I mean, they've shown it. That man advantage. I mean, Highland Park is they just have the advantage. It's clear, but they've shown that they can score. So it's calming your nerves. Maybe changing some adjustments on D. Maybe running a zone D instead, or man, or an adjacent D. But they've got to work on their D because their O is creating the opportunities. They're there. But man, the Scots, they're Minicky and Baldwin. Minicky, watch out for Minicky. He will be on the next level next year. Mark my words.
He is the real deal. Thomas Minicky, Jack Baldwin as well, a sensational half as we see some picture ops here for some of the youth programs here at Highland Park. We will step aside for halftime. We'll be back for the second half of Airline and Highland Park. 10-2, the Scotties lead at the halftime break. Zach Wilczek alongside Tanner Stockton. We'll be right back. Thank you for watching Highland Park Lacrosse on Game On Sports.
Guys, we'd like to thank you for coming out. Give these boys a hand, first and second graders. One more hand for the South. Again, we'd like to take this opportunity to thank you for coming out to watch Varsity Gold versus Airline. We'd like to also thank our 2018 partners, Nike, Chick-fil-A, D1, Coaching Alliance, Red Bull Capital Group, Allen Brad, Phoenix Region, Game On Sports,
Welcome back to Highlander Stadium. The Highland Park Scots varsity gold squad up 10-2 over Airline High School, who's in town from Louisiana. An excellent second quarter dominated by Highland Park. At the end of one, these two teams were separated by just a goal, and Highland Park right now 7 to 8 unanswered goals as they put on a flurry to end that first quarter. Jack Baldwin with a pair, Thomas Minicky coming in clutch, a couple of big saves from Major Power, who's warming up now in net. But overall, pure dominance from Highland Park as they look to continue that success here into the second half. Zach Wolchuk alongside Tanner Stockton. We've got Silviano Moncado working the camera, giving us some great shots this afternoon. And, of course, our fearless leader, Fred Garner, bringing you this production, directing and producing from Game On Sports. But Tanner, all in all, a first half that, as you said, Highland Park just seemed like the superior team talent-wise on the field. What are the things that they are really doing well to give them such an advantage here so far this afternoon?
Well, they're controlling the pace, first off. That's the key. They're controlling the pace on offense. They're essentially on defense making them beat them. They're not giving them just a layup. They gave them a couple, it was man down. They had the advantage. You got a couple layup goals, but for the most part, they're making them beat them. And the key factor, as my dear old friend Brock Boyd used to say, get the ground balls. That was just you control the ground ball game. You're more than likely going to win the game because you have possession of the ball, and it all goes back to ground balls. Pace of the game comes from ground balls, and those are the three factors that I've noticed so far that have been the keys. And then you got Jack Baldwin and Minneke. They're just playing stellar offense right now. And like I said, that Minneke kid, you're going to see him next year, Division I level. That's for sure.
Ryan Francis Defogo, the all-state player from Louisiana for this Airline squad, going to take on Cameron Wilson inside the face-off X. That rotation continues with Wilson and the freshman Anthony Gobriel. Gobriel had some success against Francis in that first half. We'll see how Wilson can do, who is playing some of a wing row. There goes Francis with a big win, trying to hit some make it, take it. Now gets a lofting pass and a shot that was deflected by Major Power. There was a quick look. Keep on your toes there, Highland Park. John Mark Wanuski, who's kind of been cherry-picking all afternoon for Airline, able to slip behind the defense there, but Major Power up to the task.
Yeah, he was ready for that shot, Zach. The guy was just wide open, but Major Power, great save there. Just was ready for it.
11:30 to play, 10-2 Highland Park with the advantage here in this third quarter against Airline. And Airline, this is something, there's a pass feed down low. That one's going to go wide, trying to chase it down. Possession will go back over to the Scots as a turnover there for Airline, but that was something I was about to say. Airline just hasn't seemed like they've been able to really maintain any consistent offensive possession.
Yeah, and that's the thing is that if they had a great opportunity right there, skip pass right in front of the goal, and it just goes trickling out of bounds, and it kills the team. It kills momentum. It kills any type of possession that you have.
Here goes Minneke working it down low, reverse, and in. Thomas Minneke with the goal for Highland Park.
He saw a wide open opportunity. The defender was too far out. He gave him a quick, I'm going to pass it, and then just curled it in and dumped it in.
And I believe it was Minneke. It might have been Gent.
No, I think it was Minneke because I'm pretty sure it was number 7.
Minneke is 7. Gent is 17. But after the celebration there, but Minneke, he has just been so stellar, so much talent, and working in isolation there, and he's loving it, working from behind the net, back in front.
And you can do so much. The great thing about working from behind the net versus the midfield position, which I played the midfield position, is that you have that cage. You have the cage that kind of gives you an advantage of, okay, you don't know where I'm going to go, and I'm going to use this against you.
10:45 to play, 11-2 Highland Park with the lead as they win that face-off, and they're able to maintain advantage again here, just living in Airline's offensive side of the field. Kashada with it now to Bonds. Bonds back over to Kashada. Looking at that, rotating again. Now working at goal line, extended to Minneke. Minneke could feed to Bonds behind the back. And that one doinks right off the side. Looked like it hit the post.
Oh, I love behind the back shots. They're so much fun to do.
What a lethal look from Bonds there. Got cute with it, but it almost paid off.
What great fast break defense from the Scots right there. They both just swarmed him, checked the stick, and they got the ball back.
Just suffocating right now for Highland Park. Working in behind the net to Minneke again. Minneke over to Kashada, working goal line extended. Haven't seen that a ton from Kashada. He's kind of been running up top a lot.
Yeah, he had an opportunity there. Just Minneke missed it, but Kashada got to the right spot. He was wide open, ready for it, but the defender just got there in time.
Little rotating Bonds back over to Kashada. Looks like that's key there. Going to work goal line extended. Double fake, spinning pirouette, trying to find an opening. He does!
Oh, look at that. Right just below the goalie's stick on his stick side.
What a shot from Harrison Key. Able to pinpoint it from the corner of the goaltender's shoulder inside the post. Top shelf. Beautiful finish, 12-2. Highland Park with their largest lead of the game, up by 10 with 9:34 to play in the third quarter.
I'm a firm believer of, 1 or 2 dukes and then bounce it back up. But if you got the talent, you got the skill set, you've got the advantage like the Scots do with 12-2, Man, take as many dekes as you want, like Keys just did there, and he got the goal advantage.
Cameron Wilson working inside the X again. Might as well get him as many reps as you want. Keep rotating those inside the face-off X. Might see some different lines here eventually as this one unfolds, as Highland Park's kind of able to play and put a bunch of different combinations in there, see what kind of works right now. Baldwin will come back in. He's got it now. Back over to Gent. Gent the flip to Baldwin. They've fed so well off each other as Bonds checks back in. That sub on the fly. Back over to Duran. Minneke. Just passing it around the lot right now.
I'll flip it back to Bond.
Oh, and there was a nice interception for Airline coming back the other way, and it's been Michael Masora. Masora trying to feed it back into the middle there. Good defense again, coming back. John Stillman in defense for Highland Park. Stillman some good whacks here as he takes on another freshman on this Airline team, Jacob Johnson. Here's Masora. Masora, a shot, big save by Major Power again. And I'll tell you, if there's one player that's given Highland Park a little bit of trouble, it's been Michael Masora, the junior 9 in blue. He's had a pretty darn good game, really on both sides of the ball, offensively and defensively for this Airline team. And he's going to take the inbound here.
Yeah, having a defender that can run down with that long pole and play on offense like he's doing right now, he's coming off the field at the moment. But, man, that is a lethal weapon for an offense. Because the goalie, it's hard. Goalie's used to these shorter sticks like that. Like, did you see how fast that thing went?
That thing comes out extremely quickly of his pole, and you can see that long stick. He's got some range. Highland Park able to clear it effortlessly. We've seen Airline have a lot of trouble getting that upfield. Right there, Highland Park making it look easy. Harrison Key back over to Cameron Wilson. Got some subs coming in as Highland Park just able to set again. So patient. Really just playing with a lot of confidence on the offensive side of things, as they should be. Shara rotating in now over to Wilson from Gent. Airline trying to keep them at bay with those long sticks. They have not been rotating a ton, as this is, like you said, a young program, Tanner. A lot of young players. This is a big stage for Airline to be playing on against a perennial powerhouse in Highland Park from the state of Texas.
I mean, Highland Park goes and plays the likes of Boys Latin up in Maryland. They play New York teams. They go out and play the best of the best in the country because they believe they're the best of the best.
Well, we saw Varsity Blue take on IMG Academy. Man, Harrison Key jumping up and down right around that 25-yard line, wanting the ball. Now he's got it. Now he's working off Cameron Wilson. Key, we've seen him have a lot of success from behind the net, but you're so right, Tanner. This is a Highland Park program that plays elite competition and usually comes out on top. Jen over to Key. Key, look at that. Down low shot, big save.
Shot.
Ball still loose for it. Finally able to get his net on it is Corbin Rich as that one hung around, but again, loose ball picked up by Highland Park. Now it's stolen back the other way, and again it's Musara. Musara taking on two defenders up the field, trying to split two. Big hit. Wilson ball comes loose. Now it's scooped off the ground ball. That's going to be Kashada. Kashada's been very active as well. Good two-way player for this Scotty program. The depth for Highland Park, it's really sensational to watch.
Yeah, it's beautiful, honestly. It's, when you, oh, what a shot. Underneath, low to high. Goalie had no chance.
Thomas Minneke again, the freshman sensation, the diaper dandy, if you will, putting on a clinic against Airline here. Little high-low, and right now, the netminder Corbin Rich, he just doesn't know what to do. He is just he will have nightmares of Thomas Minneke on the bus ride back to Louisiana.
I mean, it's a good teaching opportunity for this Louisiana team. Goalie can only do so much when the defenders are ball watching. Essentially, is what it is. And my team was guilty. Teams are guilty of it, especially when they're young. when they're young programs, it's just going to happen. You're going to ball watch. You're not used to keeping your head on swivel, keeping on moving. But they've got the LSMs that can play offense for sure, Zach.
13-2, Highland Park up. Baldwin, a long-range shot. That one stopped. Still loose. Baldwin hustling back for it. Oh, and now he's tripped up from behind. Are we going to get a call there? No.
Interference. Wow.
Looked like a pretty easy call to make. The possession will go back over to Airline. 13-2. Just under 5.5 to play. Highland Park with a commanding lead. Now you'll see Airline starting to get a little more aggressive. Loose ball. Almost turned it over back in his own end. Is the goaltender for Airline. Now they're going to try a long escape pass. That one will go out of bounds, and it'll all for naught. As either way, the Scotties will get it back. Peter Addington using the long stick to pop that one back in play. Here comes Andrew Bonnet with it.
And they're just keeping the pressure on this Airline team, Zach.
It has been a clinic to watch, this Highland Park squad, and Airline is really struggling, especially on the clears. We've talked about this offensive execution for the Scotties, but defensively they have been just as good.
They've been, as the game has progressed, that defense has gotten better and better and better, and even their fast breaks have gotten better and better and better. And yeah, they had a slow start, but I mean, it's just phenomenal lacrosse being played by the Scots right now.
Bashara back over to Duran. Duran back to the net to Minneke. Minneke, the fake pass. Now he'll take it off the right side. He can do no wrong. The loop to Duran just couldn't quite get it into the stick, as that shot will just go up high over the net. And Corbin Rich, the goaltender for Airline, will attempt the clear here. Right now the middle of the field open. Rich is going to take it. Tries to get a long pass. That one's intercepted. Airline will take it off the hop. Big poke check there from Jens.
Oh, he's going to shoot it. Oh, nope. Just kidding.
Well, it looked like the net was left open, so I can understand the thought process there, Tanner. As a former player, you bring that up across. Why not just take a shot at an open net from that range? But a solid job by Corbin Rich to get back into the net for Airline. Highland Park now, as we hit the 3:30 mark in this third quarter, up 13-2. Back on the offensive, over to Deal. Deal working with it. Back to Kashada. Bond will come in on the fly. Back over to Durand. Durand back in the net to Minneke. Minneke working goal line extended. Now he's going to fake, try the other side. Looping around. Fake shot. Pops it back to Wilson. Wilson, the windup. Fake, back over to Minneke. Minneke uses the shoulders, tries to create some separation. Unable to do so. Back over to Wilson. Kashada in support. There's a little rotation. Back over to Bond. Bond will lose it, but an easy pickup and scoot back into possession. Bond,
oh, what a
the
fake.
windup. Over to Minneke. Minneke directing traffic. Bond over the middle trying to get the feed. That one just popped off the turf, and Airline able to pick that one up. But it looked like there was some beautiful magic being created there by that attack of Highland Park, and they'll get another opportunity now as a timeout with 2:35 to talk things over. Scotty's up 13-2 here at Highlander against this Airline squad that just, they look like, you know, you hate to say this because like we talked about, they're a young program. They're finding their groove. They're a very talented team in Louisiana, but they just kind of look like a deer in the headlights a little bit now against the speed and the precision of this Highland Park unit.
See that? I mean, it just happens. It does. It's like you said, it can be a little overwhelming, but at the same time, take this as a learning opportunity. Take this as a teaching moment. At the moment, it may not seem like that, coming from like being a competitor myself, and you too. Just with whatever we do, no one likes to lose. I mean, let's be real. No one likes to lose. It's not fun. But I mean, just this Scots team, they're just on a whole nother level from this Airline team. What I would tell if this was my team, what I would tell them: keep your head on a swivel, keep moving, keep getting out there, keep your stick on their hand. Because if you keep your stick on their hand, they got to power through that. It's a lot harder to take a shot that you're powering through a stick than it is when you have the time and space. You can crank back, step into it, cock your hips, and then unload. So we'll see, but like I said, by the Scots, I mean, not a whole lot you can tell your team. Just keep it up, keep what you're doing, keep them on their toes, move the ball, keep the pressure on them. But they're doing it in a respectful way. They're not just
Oh, no
unloading.
doubt. You see nothing but class from this Highland Park program, no matter at what level it is, even into the middle schools. And we just saw some of the youth, the first and second graders out there, and they showed some great sportsmanship at the end there after halftime, shaking each other's hands. I mean, that's how they grow them here at Highland Park. They do it the right way. Wilson working it around. That ball goes loose, but it's able to be skipped back up by Harrison Key. I will tell you, I mean, this communication by Highland Park today has been second to none. You can really tell all these guys are on the same page. They're directing traffic. Airline defensively doing everything they can, sticks up, but the speed for Highland Park. Here you go, Harrison Key working goal line extended, trying to get that whip around.
What a shot. He went low and almost went in. You know, just kind of trickled past the goal, but that was a good look by Harrison Key right there.
And the Scots have had a lot of success from that shot so far today. 13-2. They have the advantage. A minute and a half left here in the third quarter. Working it back around to Paget Deal. Deal in front to Key. And you can see they've put a lot of people at different spots. Harrison Key, he might come back around the net. No, he stops working towards goal line extended, but now you've got Paget Deal quarterbacking things from behind the net. Over to Key. Key back to Deal. High pass. Nice job by Deal to recover that feed. Over to Wilson. Or that's Kashada, excuse me.
Oh, that was beautifully done right there. Like, they had a little wheel rotation going on with two guys in the back end looking to cut in, get the defense on their toes, keep them essentially confused.
Yep. Absolutely. Michael Masora will bring it up here. Pass it to a teammate. Long whip, winding shot, and a good hit again. Tell you what, any success Airline's able to have trying to feed inside the crease there, Highland Park has left their mark. Some remember me shots from this defensive unit of Highland Park on the check. Very physical play. And I know that's how Coach Moses wants it to be on the varsity blue level. That is trickling down here to the varsity gold level with Coach Thompson's squad.
Oh, yeah, you can see it. And not only was it a good hit, it was a good check. He got the stick on the stick, which kept the ball from going where it needed to go. Looky here, we got Airline on the
There's a flag coming in. That one's going to be on Harrison Key as he just looks and stares at the official. But Airline will take it if they can, trying to get the man up as this clock is expiring. Peter Addington absolutely peppering the Airline attackman. And there comes Gent over there with the turnover. And you can just see it right now. That's Cole Andres. Bless his heart. He's coming over, trotting. He is in some pain right now. 7.5 seconds remaining in this third quarter. 13-2. Highland Park with the advantage. They're going to be a man down here. Penalty on Harrison Key. I believe it's just going to be a 30-second minor.
Yeah, he just unfortunately got him from behind. They're going to call that every single time, whether the guy gets trips or not. You put any hand on that back, even if it's just the back shoulder, they'll call that every single time.
So this clock's probably going to expire without a shot, and it does, as that'll be it. 13-2. Highland Park will take the edge into the fourth quarter. 23 seconds left on the man up for Airline. But look, for Airline, if you're looking for some positivity, their two goals, the first one coming on a two-man advantage and the second one coming seconds after their man advantage had expired, but still able to maintain that offensive control and volley that into an even strength goal. So maybe they're able to kind of break this streak for Highland Park, as they're now something like 10 goals unanswered for the Scotties. Another shutout period there for Highland Park.
Yeah, like I said, take this as a teachable moment. If you're the Airline coach, the Airline team, look at the positives. Look at the fact that those were very good plays, very good goals. And like you said, great transition from a man up to even and getting the goal just second after it was even. It might, there might have been, from what I saw, there was a little confusion on the Scots end, but regardless, still a good goal. I mean, they've had good defensive opportunity. They've had good defense. They're just, again, they're standing on their toes. There's a lot of ball watching. Like I said, you're just going to get that from these younger teams. But, like you said, what you said they're ranked 7th in the
they finished
state?
7th in the state of Louisiana last year.
After
Their best
last
season
year,
for this airline squad.
It's year 2 and they're 7th. Like, no wonder. I think coach was coach of the year,
yeah,
right?
Steve Martino was
no
named
wonder.
coach of the year.
And they're just going to keep improving, keep improving. And who knows, a few years from now, they might stand toe-to-toe with the Scots team if they come back. Like I said, take it as a teachable moment.
Well, we've talked about it at length already. This is a team loaded with freshmen. There's not a senior. There's one senior on this roster, and that's going to be Duncan Aubrey, who we really have not seen play a ton so far for Airline, but lots of freshmen, and it seems like their best player, at least from our point of view, has been Michael Masora, number 9.
Oh, hands
only
down.
A junior.
Oh, hands down. He's by far none their best player. He is getting it done on the defensive end, getting it done on the offensive end, and with a long stick, I may add. And sometimes some of your best offensive players are long stick middies. I've seen some deadly guys. One of my good friends I played on a collaborative U15 team, great LSM for ESD back in the day. Another buddy of mine that I played at Plano with, great LSM when we needed him to play LSM. So this team has the potential to be good in the next couple of years. Lots of young talent.
They'll start off with about 15 seconds and counting on the man up, trying to slow things down. And that's another thing that we've talked about. Oh, there's a feed inside. A lot of congestion there. Seems like Highland Park able to always have 2 bodies on one offensive player for Airline. Just excellent switches. And we've already seen a switch in net for Highland Park, as the sophomore Spencer Hopkins will get some duty here in the 4th quarter. There's a long windup from Francis to Fogo.
Looks like we're even again, Zach.
Another excellent kill with 11:20 to go in this game, 13-2. Highland Park with the edge. They've got 2 timeouts, so if they choose to use them, 1 left for Airline. Francis, who we haven't seen playing a ton offensively outside of the X, he is their top Fogo. In there trying to bang things loose for Airline now. Working it behind will be Highland Park with the advantage. Trying to get the clear there was Hopkins. Airline puts a stick in there, stops that one. Picking up the loose ball is going to be Cole Andres, another one of the juniors for this Airline squad. Baldwin all over him.
Great defense by Baldwin right there. Kept him out, kept him outside the box, even pushed him almost all the way to half field.
Spencer Borrego out there as well. Cameron Wilson. John Stillman. And, of course, Andrew Bonnet for Highland Park. Peter Addington in there as well. Lots of just quality defensemen on this Scots roster. There's Bonnet trying to knock that one out. Able to get it over to a teammate. That's going to be Jacob Johnson, the freshman. He's got some speed to him. There's a freshman for Airline, gives them a lot of hope for the future.
Oh, he's already got the stick skills. I can tell right now. He's got great handle on the ball, great shots. He's got good shot selections, but he's just being overwhelmed by the Scots defense at the moment.
Cam Wilson to scoop up that loose ball, and here comes Highland Park. Nice feed to Duran off the side. Duran just shoots that one wide.
Right.
I think he got a little overzealous there. He had a lot of room, probably got excited. One of the best looks for the sophomore James Duran that he'll see. That one just a little wide.
That's the tricky thing about those sidearm shots is you almost have to really turn your body to aim it correctly. Otherwise, you're going to go far right or far left depending on what hand you're using to shoot it.
13-2 Highland Park leads. 9:15 to go in the 4th quarter. It's been all Scots from the 2nd quarter on in this one.
Yeah, this Airline team gave them a run for their money to start out, but once the Scots team got their feet down and just to hit the ground running, it's just been Scots all day from then on out. They
really did, as Highland Park now, and they've really taken a page. You talked about Jesuit, the 2-time state champion, and this is a Highland Park squad that's had tons of success at every single level in their own right, but Jesuit's team that's knocked them out the last couple of years. And talking to Rich Moses, they wanted to play more of that ball control style of offense, really allow everybody to share the wealth, and they have showcased that beautifully on this varsity gold squad today. Nice feed over the middle to Deal, and Paget Deal with the finish.
Beautiful, beautiful play. He just crept right in. It's just beautiful. They did it right. They had the rotation. He crept right. You know, they got the defense confused, and once that happens, it's game over.
14-2. The Scotties up with 8:26 to go. Paget Deal with his second goal of the game. He was close to having several a week ago. Had some nice assists, but was held goalless. But today, banging a couple home for Highland Park as they are up by 12 with just under 8.5 to play. Really at will, doing whatever they want to do against this Airline defense.
Don't expect them to let off the gas pedal. They do it in a respectful way, but they're not a team to, once they get a comfortable lead, to let off the brake. You know,
you got to play till the buzzer sounds. Gabriel, a nice face-off win there. So he popped that one up to himself, almost a make-it-take-it opportunity. Airline did a solid job getting back defensively. But Highland Park, again, just able to stop and set up that offense. Back behind the net is Key and Duran. Duran back over to Key. He'll pop it up top to Bashar, and that one will go. Or Kashada, excuse me. Highland Park able to come up and save that ground ball. That was John Stillman. Able to come up and keep that one in Scott's possession, so they'll just kind of reset things again. Harrison Key working goal line extended, little stutter step. Back out to Paget Deal. Deal to Kashada. Kashada working at 25, 20-yard line, working, winding that side. Back over to Key. Behind the net. Key a long pass in front again to Gent. And Gent's got that speed, and he likes to shoot it from range. We've seen that a couple of times. Deal. Rotating Key, the wind up, and that shot will go wide and into the net. All right. So that one was more on target than it looked like initially. That's Jacob Cruz, the freshman netminder. So we've had a goalie switch by both teams here to start this fourth quarter. Cruz just, I don't think anybody really knew where that one went except for him and the official. 14-2 under 7 minutes to play. Here comes Airline, a little more pep in their step as they want to try and finish this one on a good note, have some positive energy on that drive back to Louisiana. You can hear the communication from up here in the booth. Defensively for Highland Park, we've talked about how they've been talking out there on the offensive side of things, but defensively, you're keeping that communication tip-top as well. Back over to the other side is Highland Park. It seems like, look, if Airline gets the ball, it's not for more than 30 seconds, and the Scotties are back on top of things.
Yeah, if that's Zach. And if you noticed that last time, you saw how spread out the defense was. That's because they can. They're keeping the pressure, and they're keeping that offense so spread. I mean, you want to stay spread in offense, but you don't want your guys 20 yards away from each other.
It makes it very difficult, especially when you look at how methodical and how well Highland Park's been able to set up their passes. Airline unable to do the same. There's a little spin around try from Gent.
Bounce pass, top left corner.
One just floats in. Gent has a way about him on those ground shots to just get the perfect bounce right off the turf. Unbelievable finish there.
Practice, practice, practice. I guarantee he does. Outside practice, he probably does 100 shots a day. Outside of practice himself, too.
Jake Gent knows the sweet spots, and he finds one there. Another ground shot goes in low for Highland Park, 15-2. With 5:50 to play, the Scots are pouring it on right now. As this varsity gold squad flexing their muscle. There's another face-off win. The grounder picked up by Baldwin. Baldwin will get pushed backwards. Trying to be quick off the initial face-off win from Gabriel, who really is starting to find his zone inside the face-off X, making his case why he should be the permanent Fogo for this squad. Cameron Wilson, the other man who gets some reps inside the X, coming in on the fly for Highland Park.
Yeah, those two face-off guys, they've been lethal today. Whether they win or not, the Scots get the ball every time because they're either keeping the Airline All-American Fogo tied up and giving their guys enough time to get to the X, or they just flat out win it. I mean, they're doing their jobs.
Wilson with a close range shot there, saved by Cruz. And there's the long stick of Peter Addington up the alley, picking up the ground ball for Highland Park.
He's going to shoot it.
Addington, the wind up and the finish. Goal for the Scotties, Peter Addington. And you can see the exuberance from his teammates there as the defenseman getting offensive. 16-2 with 4:49 to play. Everybody's getting into things. Now all we need is the goalies to start being a factor of this one. Spencer Hopkins, it's on you now, my friend.
Hey, I don't count them out. I've seen it before. My old goalie's done it. I've seen collegiate goalies done it. Shoot, I've seen these HP goalies do it before in the past.
Highland Park just getting it done. The middies, the attackmen, the defense, everything gelling to perfection right now. And this Airline school that's made the trip from Louisiana, one of the better up-and-coming programs in Louisiana high school lacrosse. Well, they're getting a taste of just how dominant Highland Park is from this great state of Texas. And, man, we are just spoiled in this North Texas region.
Oh, yeah. Year in, year out, you see multiple teams, not just the Scots. You see
Jesuits, who won the last 2 years, ESD, who Jesuit beat in the state championship just up the road.
Coppell, St. Mark's.
No doubt.
Plano West, the top-notch programs. From what I've been hearing, that Flower Mountain program is a pretty good up-and-coming one,
Flower Mountain is, absolutely.
Looks like we got a penalty on the play, Zach.
I think this one's going to go against the Scotties.
Yeah, this game's... You tend to see this happen with some of these quote-unquote block games. They start to get a little chippy from one end or the other. It happens. And not necessarily careless or reckless is the word, but I can't think of a better word.
A little bit of frustration.
Yeah. And
probably. But for Highland Park, I mean, you're up. That was one that was just a loose ball. And
and it happens.
You see, you lose control of your stick a little bit. Spencer Harper.
You get excited.
Just being aggressive, absolutely, especially a young sophomore who's getting some valuable playing time here late in the last few minutes. So the man up for Airline. Let's see if they can make the most of this with 4 minutes to play. Down 14 against Highland Park.
Well, that middle guy for the Scott, and he's doing it perfectly. He's keeping his head on a swivel. He's got a stick ready to go. He moved up. That ball goes down. He follows the guy. He's doing it textbook perfectly.
Andrew Bonnet, who is just a model of consistency for Highland Park on that defensive side of things. Long, winding shot. That one...
That was interesting. It looked like it hit off the defender's stick in the back end.
Here comes Bonnet. Up ahead, spinning his way. Nice shifty play there from Bonnet up to Baldwin, working down the alley to the 30, 25-20. Goal line extended now. Meneke will go ahead and take his home behind the net. Highland Park content to just let this one run out as they are about to be at even strength. Penalty expires, 3:15 to play and counting. 16-2, Highland Park up on Airline High School. Wilson working his way over towards the 20. Back over to Meneke. Meneke to Key. And that's a tandem to watch. Those three right there working goal line extended behind the net. Deal, Key, and Meneke. Meneke can really just play anywhere. We've seen that. But now at the top as well with Wilson, Gent, and Baldwin. All guys who have goals here so far today.
Oh, yeah, that tandem in the back has just been phenomenal today, Zach. You got Meneke just scoring left and right. Key running the offense a little bit ago. He was scoring left and right. Baldwin's been scoring. Gent's had a few goals, too, today. Just amazing lacrosse on the Scots end today.
Key looking for more. So set it up top to Baldwin. And this is one where Highland Park's able to just use that pass drill if you want. Let this baby run out, nearing the 2-minute mark.
Yeah, stay wide, get open. Just let the clock run out.
Good switching there for Highland Park. Is Jake Gent, the freshman, who just had an awesome game. Working for more there as he worked the front of the net. Looper just went a little high right at the 2-minute mark. 16-2, Highland Park with the lead. They'll maintain possession.
Yeah, it looks like they're kind of running a 2-2 now. You got two minis up top, a mini attack in the middle. which for this case works. Is what they want. They want to keep it. You keep the ball rotating, not getting too clogged up.
Menike working it now, goal line extended. Now he'll pass that one back over to Baldwin. Baldwin to Wilson. Back over to Gent now. And Gent and Key, they can get that rotation set up. There they have it. Under 1:10 now to play. Here comes Wilson. Off the roll. Stop. Back over to Baldwin. Baldwin, a wind up. This one goes wide again. Stays with Highland Park. Paget deal alert. Keel take it in. 1 minute left to play. 16-2. Highland Park up here in the game's final quarter. Trying to close this one out. Cameron Wilson, a saucy shot. Goes just wide as he's looking to get into the goal scoring party as well.
He piped it.
45 seconds remaining. Highland Park could really just hold this one if they wanted to, and they just might. Kind of just toss it back and forth.
Gotta make sure you get in the box, though, so you don't get that violation.
Deal takes it, goal line extended. Now he's going to loop this one around. See if he goes for maybe one more wraparound try. Back over to Baldwin. Baldwin, another great game for him. Key, that one will pop right over Key. He's able to go ahead and save it. Under 10 seconds to play. As the clock winds down, 5 seconds left. Key holding it. And that should do it. 16-2. The Highland Park Varsity Gold Squad knocks off Airline from Louisiana in a dominant performance from the second quarter on from Highland Park, just taking care of business at home at Highlander in a day that has turned out to be perfect for lacrosse this afternoon. Again, 16-2 your final. Highland Park over Airline as this Varsity Gold Squad improves to 2-0 on the season. Tanner, what do you take away from this one if you're Highland Park?
I mean, they did start out slow. They had a slow start. I mean, Airline stayed with them. They kind of let a few goals go. A little bit miscommunication on that second goal. Man, come second quarter on, it was Highland Park all day. Menike scoring left and right, Key scoring left and right, Gent with beautiful bounce shot selections, Baldwin with some good goals, and just great ball movement on the offense. They kept the ball away from the Airline D, and on the fast break, they swallowed those fast breaks up. And even on the defense, even when Airline had the ball on offense, like you said earlier, it lasted, what, maybe 20, 30 seconds?
Yeah, it did not last long.
And it was great great man down defense, great box and one, great box when they're two man down. Just overall, it was a great game. And like I said, watch out for these freshmen. They're gonna be great future Scots players in the future.
Well, for this Varsity Gold Squad, they'll go ahead and turn their focus to next Friday night at Prosper as they look to remain undefeated on the season, extend their record to 3-0, another non-district foe. And I believe Varsity Blues should be in action again on Monday night after their game last night against Coppell was rained out. So they should be in action against Frisco Reedy, I believe, on Monday night. Of course, you can catch all of Highland Park lacrosse right here on Game On Sports. Your final 16-2 from Highlander. Highland Park knocks off Airline. For my partner, Tanner Stockton, for our camera operator, Silviano Mancado, for our producer, Fred Garner, I'm Zach Wolchuk. Thank you all very much. Have a good afternoon and a great evening. So long from Highland Park.